This take, Sharp and Shapiro. So glad you could join us. Again, a reminder, this show moving 9 a.m. to noon, starting August 12th, which would be this Monday. So we're very excited about that. We got Ron Futrell in studio, along with J.D. Sharp. I'm Brian Shapiro. We also got James Varga in studio, who was at the Route 91 Festival. Luckily, was able to survive it. And the reason why we have this guest on the line right now, we've had all these horrible shootings that have happened over the course of the last several days. It's terrible. And there's a lot of people that were at that Route 91 Festival that are suffering from PTSD. And Misha Ray is on the line with us right now. She's the marketing and outreach coordinator for the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center that is doing some great work. Misha, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you all?
Doing good.
Doing very well.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this to start. After the shootings over the weekend, how many calls have you guys been getting from survivors?
You know, it's hard to count because we do get outreach from a number of venues, you know, with the kind of advent of social media and, you know, popularity of email. We also get a ton of emails. We get Facebook messages directly to our page. We have people reach out to a number of people directly within our office by text message if they already have a relationship. So we have seen an increase, but it's hard to quantify based on just the number of ways that we try to make ourselves available.
Now, I understand that. So give me a typical phone call. Obviously, you know, we don't need names, but give me a typical call of somebody that calls in and says they're suffering from something. What is a typical type of phone call? How does that go?
Gosh, yeah, they can vary. You know, people, and it really depends. And we see that after incidents like the ones that happened this weekend and then in Gilroy the weekend before, we see that survivors from 1 October that hadn't reached out for help before, have never sought counseling, thought that they were completely, you know, quote unquote fine and that they were doing well. They find that after these incidents happen, that they feel really affected and they're not really sure why. And then they come to the realization that, oh my gosh, I think this is actually tied directly to my 1 October experience. And it's not necessarily, you know, immediately what you would think is that you're just shaken by the news, but actually you're being, you know, we try not to use the word triggered, but, you know, you're being reminded of your exact experience where you were at 1 October. So we see a lot of people reaching out for the very first time. So in instances like this, a phone call to the Resiliency Center can often be, you know what, I have never reached out to you before. I'm honestly a little bit lost. I'm not sure where to start, so I thought I would start with you. And then we have trained people at our call center, and many of them, all of them actually, have been trained in some kind of trauma intervention. So we, myself included, because I do interact with survivors as well, we make it a priority for our staff to be trauma informed, as well as the practitioners that we refer people to. So the phone call, you know, if they're starting from zero, you know, if they haven't reached out before, can often just be, what do I do? Where do I start? So if their goal is to seek counseling, we have an on-site behavioral health coordinator who will connect them to a counseling service or a mental health provider in their area. So even if they're not in Las Vegas, if they're from California, which a lot of the survivors are, Carrie is her name. She can connect them to a trauma-informed and vetted practitioner in their area. It's a little bit harder if they're in a more rural and hard-to-reach space, but she works so hard to try to find a good fit, because that's really important. If you try counseling and it's not a good fit, you're kind of discouraged and you don't go back. But then there are other resources we offer. So if it's not counseling they're looking for, but, you know, if they have a surgery upcoming that they've been putting off because they couldn't afford it, we also work very closely with the state's Victims of Crime program. And Victims of Crime will provide financial assistance for certain things, and medical costs, loss of wages, those kinds of things are some of those things that are covered. So if you are a victim of crime, such that, you know, and 1 October survivors were, you can apply and get those benefits and help get some help in that way. So we can help fill out the application. We can help them make sure that their application will get seen. So we kind of manage their case in that way. And then if they're just looking for, you know, just some kind of emotional support in that moment, you know, we can just be there to talk and just say that they are not alone in how they feel. You know, thousands of people were at Route 91, so thousands of people are in a very similar situation. It's just a matter of everybody kind of being on a different scale of where they are in their healing process.
You are extremely knowledgeable about your craft, and that's very, very interesting. So a lot of the time, PTSD is subconscious. About what percentage of cases that you deal with are subconscious?
Oh my gosh. That can even be hard to quantify. And I would probably want to get that number from our behavioral health coordinator. But I will say that, like I said earlier, that it's hard because some people haven't even realized that they have, whether it's PTSD or something else, some kind of anxiety that they've formed since 1 October. Even if they've been working with us for a while, trying to, they attend our events or they call frequently, they still don't acknowledge that they have PTSD. They might acknowledge that their friends do, or that their partner does, or even if their children were with them, that their children might have it, but they themselves feel like they have to keep it together for their family, for their friends, for their loved ones. So it can be hard to really say that somebody has PTSD. And again, that subconsciousness that you mentioned, it's so subconscious because they're putting on that brave face. They're there to support others. So I think that's why people don't come forward for a long period of time. So like I said, it's almost been 2 years since 1 October, and we're still having people reach out for the very first time. And so I think that can continue for, 5, 10 years even. We work with, when the Resiliency Center was first created, we worked with some federal consultants who respond to these mass casualty incidents. And they say that they still work with people from the Oklahoma City bombings in 1995. So this can have years, decades long repercussions. And so the PTSD being subconscious, once you personally come to accept that might be the case, I think that's when your healing can truly start. And that's when the subconscious can become conscious. You can start to address it and really start your healing.
Well, Misha, I got to tell you, you guys are doing some really wonderful work. You're helping so many people that have been involved, unfortunately, sadly, in this tragedy on October 1. And I want you to give you an opportunity to give out some information if people want to give you a call and need help. And it might not, let's be honest, it might not be October 1. It could be anything. I mean, I remember I was in a very serious car accident when I was 12 years old. That haunts me to this day. I don't forget. I'll always remember that, and I could give a million reasons how I remember it. But for specifically for people, especially that were at this Route 91 festival, how can you help these people? Give out that information so people know.
Sure. So this week in particular, a lot of community partners have stepped up, and they are offering a lot of free support groups around the Valley. So a lot of in-person opportunities during the day. Bridge Counseling is offering 3 groups a day for until Friday. But this week, we've got some other evening opportunities on our website as well. So I would recommend people go to our website, which is vegasstrongrc.org. And then right there on our homepage, we've got a button that references these special resources available this week, because we know a lot of people are really feeling it this week. So those resources are there on our website. And then daily, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, we are open from, we are open from 8:30 to 5 at 702-455-2433. You can give us a call. And if you have something that, we also offer legal services. I didn't get a chance to mention that. We have a legal team on site. So if you have, say, been experiencing employment issues and you think it's related to 1 October, if you've got maybe some issues in the family, we have some attorneys on site that are more than happy to assist with those kinds of issues as well. So if you have anything on the brain and you want to talk with us about how we might be able to assist, we recommend you give us a call or visit us online.
Wow. I recommend people do. Obviously, you guys do a fantastic job. Misha, thank you so much for taking some time to join us, and we'd love to have you on again sometime, okay?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, everybody. And to our survivor there, I hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
great.
a lot, Misha.
Thank you, Misha. We appreciate that. There you go. That's Misha Ray, Marketing and Outreach Coordinator for the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center. Wow, that was some pretty strong stuff, I got to say. Very intelligent. Knows what she's talking about. You're right, JD. And, we've all been through traumatic experiences in our life in one way or another, right? I mean, we're all different. Some may be more difficult than others, but who am I to judge that? But what can be more difficult than what James went through? Front of the stage at a concert, the largest shooting massacre in American history, mass shooting, right here in our backyard. And now we see these shootings happen over and over and over again. And make no mistake about it, I would hope that everybody would join with me and say that, we don't want any of these shootings to happen anymore. We don't want innocent people to be hurt or, God forbid, killed. We want this stuff to stop. And the only way we are going to prevent more of these horrible massacres from happening, the only way, is if people work together. Now, we could be talking about a whole range of topics. Ron mentioned...
Fix the family.
We were talking about a whole range
Fix the family, number one.
We were talking about...
automatic weapons off the streets.
We were talking about a whole range of topics. It could be automatic weapons. It could be family, what Ron has been talking about.
Social media.
Could be dangerous rhetoric.
Politics.
Okay, but the important thing is that we need to listen to each other and understand that there are all sorts of different reasons of why these events are happening.
No more Call of Duty or Fortnite.
There's not one reason why these shootings are happening. Okay? Now listen, I would rather have somebody with a handgun than one of these assault weapons. And I would hope everybody would join me in that. I think that is logical. In a perfect world, I'd like to have families, good parents, good fathers, good mothers. Yes, absolutely. Okay? But we're not in a perfect world. There are bad people out there.
We don't have to have a perfect world to fix things. We don't have to have a perfect world. What we have to do is a better world and solve these problems.
And let me ask you a basic question.
For 30 years, we've destroyed these societal norms that we have had that have strengthened our society, that has brought us together. We've worked to destroy them for the last 30 years.
Ron,
this is the result, and the shootings are an indication of
forget
this.
about the families for a second.
Forget about
and I want the reason why I'm saying this is I want to ask you a question so you can get off of it for once. Okay? I want to ask you a very specific question. It's a very simple question. Do you think no different gun laws should be passed right now, and we shouldn't do anything about gun control? It's a simple question.
I have no problem with considering. So no, consider those. I'm the one who said let's go ahead and have a constitutional amendment to change it. If we want to change gun laws, let's go ahead and have that discussion.
I'm asking you your
about
opinion.
The Second Amendment.
Do you think that we should change some of the gun laws in this country?
We could I have no problem with stricter background checks.
That's a part of it, yes.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
What about these assault weapons?
All of these people have passed background checks.
What about the assault weapons that are being used?
I have no problem with looking at that. So
you're okay with having a discussion of maybe getting some of these guns
Absolutely, let's
off
talk
the
about
streets.
some of these things. But it's not going to solve
So can I ask you a question?
The larger problem in society.
That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion. Brian, you'll figure it out when at some point. No, you will figure it out at some point.
Okay, yeah.
I trust that you will. You're a smart guy, so I trust that you will at some point. This is a problem that's bigger than these horrific shootings. That's just what you're seeing right now is 30 years of degradation of our society, that young men are lost. They have no meaning in
Okay, let me retort on what you just said.
If they do not have a solid structure and a base,
fine. Okay.
And this is them lashing out.
Let me retort to that.
Suicide,
all right, let me respond to what you just said.
Okay, all sorts of things.
Okay, let me retort to that. Okay, you just mentioned the last 30 years. Let me mention what we've had in the last 2 years. There are many people out there that look up, that look up to the President of the United States for leadership. And guess what? When you continue time and time again with the hateful rhetoric, and
you
we've
don't
talked
want to get to the
about
heart
this,
of the matter, do you?
That is a part of the problem. Got to take some more phone calls. 257-5396, the number to call again, 257-5396. Let's go to Justin.
Decades in the making.
Justin, what's going on?
How you guys doing?
Hey, Justin.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yep.
Yeah, so how many mass shootings were under Obama? You keep saying 2 years, so there was over 30 under the Obama presidency, and the Democrats had control of the House and Senate at one point, and they did nothing. They did nothing.
So we should do nothing now?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm just saying you're blaming Trump the last 2 years. What about Obama? You keep saying Trump.
What was my opinion on Obama? Do you know what my opinion was in 8 years of Obama?
What was your opinion?
Okay, so you don't know my opinion on Obama, but you're just assuming that I give Obama a pass. Is that what you're doing, Justin?
No, but you always give the Democrats a pass. It's
Excuse
not Obama, it's the Democrats.
excuse me. I don't give Democrats a pass. I didn't vote for Hillary. Excuse me. There's no passes that I'm giving out to anybody. Okay, right now the President of the United States is in charge. Guess what? Mitch McConnell can get people in Congress right now to pass a bill. Everybody wants it done. Mitch McConnell.
They're passing the red flag bill.
Excuse me. Mitch
trying.
McConnell has a chance to get people to pass proper gun legislation. He has failed to do it, Justin. Hold on.
I will say this.
In regard, okay,
Pelosi?
you keep bringing up.
What about Jerry Nadler? Why aren't they putting stuff?
Did you? Okay, I'll answer that. Okay, right now, Nadler and Pelosi do not have the power that Mitch McConnell has. Are you aware of that?
Nancy Pelosi does.
No,
Absolutely.
she doesn't. Mitch McConnell is the. Excuse me. You don't understand the law. Right now, Mitch.
Yes, I do.
No, you
They
don't.
can bring any bill.
Excuse me.
He's in charge of the Senate.
Mitch
No.
McConnell
The
is
House
the
of
only one.
Representatives.
Mitch McConnell is the only one that can get people in right now to pass this bill. Are you not aware of that? That is a fact.
What bill?
So can Nancy Pelosi.
Oh my gosh!
She
All
already
right.
passed it.
Here, let me say something. Let me say something. During the Clinton administration, there was something called the National Fatherhood Initiative. It wasn't real effective. It wasn't. I don't think people really saw the need for it
NAFTA?
then. Bless NAFTA. No, not NAFTA. Yeah, not NAFTA. That was a different Clinton thing. The National Fatherhood Initiative that he did because he spotted a problem at that time that fatherless homes were creating issues in neighborhoods and communities, and they were being destroyed because the government under Lyndon B. Johnson was replacing fathers in homes. He spotted that. I would like to see something like that. Let's go with that. Let's start an initiative. Now we see the results of 30 to 40 years of this destruction in our society. Let's try to find a way to get it back and have government put attention in that direction. I wouldn't mind seeing that. If you want legislation, let's go there. Let's put some.
That's it. We got to take some more calls, but
and as it relates to that, I think that's why there's an increase in gang shootings and whatnot because that might have separate related to it. I don't know. Maybe
well,
they're seeing.
let's see. Let's take.
I know the numbers. The numbers are there.
Just
The numbers
Let's
are
take.
clear.
All right, we got to take a few more calls at 257-5396. Let's go to Mike. Mike, what's going on?
Oh, you guys, I just wanted to say thank you, Brian and JD and Joe, for hammering this and working so damn hard for since Friday, since we've been talking about the Garlic Festival. But I just wanted to say thank you, guys. You're definitely earning your money, man, the last few days.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike. This is what we do. Unfortunately, we can't change the laws, but we certainly have opinions about it, and we will always be honest on this show. We might not always agree. But I'm always going to speak from the heart. You know, it doesn't mean.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, Mike, I appreciate those kind words, sir.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the kind words, Mike.
I appreciate that. We hope you can, Mike. We hope that you'll be a loyal listener and listen 9 a.m. to noon because we are starting on Monday, my friend. I'm not sure if you knew that.
Oh, I knew that. In fact, I knew that before most people did because I have an inside line.
Oh,
Wow.
all right. Well, listen, Mike.
Who's the mole?
Listen, Mike. This show's just as much about you as it is about anybody. You know,
I know it. I know it. You guys kill it with the calls. And
thank you, sir.
One thing. Remember, I asked you if you could put Steve on, but now I'm asking you to put Doug Basham on because you guys would be so interested.
Mike, I got some good news for you. You ready for this? Guess who's going to be in studio on Monday? Your head's going to explode.
No stinking way.
Listen, Michael Avenatti and Steve Sanchez in studio on Monday.
Oh, my gosh. That is going to be – everybody better record this.
It's going to be fun. Mike, I hope you'll listen, my friend, because they are going to be in studio on Monday, and we really do appreciate your kind words, sir. It does mean a lot. It really does. So thank you for the phone call. Like I said, we're not always going to agree. Me and Ron Futrell have been going – this has been a decade long now. Me and Ron, politics. But Ron is a super great guy. I mean that sincerely. I wouldn't say that about some other people in this town in the media. You are a unbelievably great guy and a good family man. I'm serious. A good father, good husband. I don't say that about a lot of people. Ron is a great guy.
Ron is an absolute stand-up guy.
Yes, he is.
There's not a lot of stand-up.
No, but I'm serious.
Although you'd be surprised, there's a lot more stand-up guys in Vegas than you would expect.
Now I'm uncomfortable, James. You see this?
Let me take another phone call. Let's go to Lee. Lee, what's going on?
What's up, Lee?
Lee, what's up?
Hey, guys. Stats show that mass shootings, bombings, killing police officers are done by white people. I mean, stats show that all along. The most horrendous crimes are done by white people. Serial killings, bombings, killing police officers, and so on.
Okay, but I will say this.
What about 9/11?
Fatherless.
Hold on. Regardless of whether that's right or wrong, Lee, something needs to be there's a lot of things that need to be done in this country, regardless of who's committing these atrocious acts. I'm sure you would agree with that. Congress needs to act.
Definitely.
Yes.
But if we want to break it down, we can go who commits more crimes, Christians, Muslims, Catholics, Protestants, atheists. We want to go down that road? We can.
No, the overriding is 90% are fatherless.
Lee, the question is, what are you trying to say needs to be done?
Right. That should be the question.
There's nothing can be done. Human behavior is just
No,
it can be done. It
disagree.
This didn't happen. This didn't happen 30, 40 years ago.
I'll
we
tell
had
you,
the NRA. We had guns. What we have done is our degradation to society and the family and religion, Brian.
And we need to stop. We need to stop.
This is where we're at, folks.
We need to stop identifying as white or black or Asian or Hispanic or Mexican and identify as Americans.
But this was a hate crime at Walmart.
I agree.
Make no mistake about it. Let's go to Andre. Andre, what's going on?
What's up, Andre?
Hey, good evening, man. Hey, who's the gentleman that actually made the comment about the family and the breakdown of the family?
I did.
That was Ron Futrell.
That's
Ron. Okay, well,
yes.
Ron, I wanted to applaud you, man, because I've been saying that forever.
What?
And I think that's exactly what we have going on here, man. We have a breakdown of the family, a breakdown of fatherhood, man. We also have a society that has taken God out of everything, including the public school system. They want to take God and God we trust out of our money. We have become a godless society. We also have an increase in isolation. People are more isolated. They're more dependent on technology, and it's just not good. There's no interaction. You know,
can I interject real quick?
No interaction.
No, I hear you, Andre. Let me just interject
Andre,
and let me ask you.
Except on Pokemon Go.
You were on a roll there.
Andre, let
him keep going.
Let me ask you a question, Andre.
He's always interrupting people. You notice that,
yeah,
man?
He is.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Do better, man. You're always interrupting people.
Okay, first of all, Andre, do you want me to just let you talk for 5 minutes? That's not how we do a radio show.
No, but you want to hear yourself talk. That's the problem with you. Go ahead.
I want to hear No, I'll tell you what. We've taken about 30 or 40 calls, and if I took your advice, we would have only taken 4 or 5 calls. Are you a producer?
Ahead,
do you have?
Go ahead, spit it out.
No. I'm just responding to what you just said, your accusation. Yeah. Okay? We take a lot of calls on this show. I enjoy taking as many calls as possible. If somebody says something stupid, you're damn right I'm going to interject. I let you speak. Go ahead,
now go ahead, get to the point. Go ahead.
Oh, now you want me to hurry up. So you want me to give you all the time in the world, but you want me to hurry up with the question.
Don't take my time. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. That's the best thing you said this whole call.
Regardless, Andre, great call.
My question, Andre, I'm not hanging up on him. Since he runs the show, I'm not going to hang up on Andre.
He should run the show.
Andre's my producer and my boss, I guess. Andre, so what you just said, let's just say we agree on it. Let's just say we agree on everything that you just said. Do you bear no responsibility on gun control or the President of the United States? None? Zero?
No. You know where I put the responsibility? I own about 10 guns. You don't see me going out there committing these atrocities.
That wasn't my question. No. My question was, do you think that there should...
He said no to you.
So you don't think there should be any changes to any gun laws out there? You're okay with someone buying 250 rounds?
I think there could be, like, I agree with you. There could be some things that are logical and sensical.
Okay.
But yeah, there should be a couple, but you don't punish the good people for having guns.
Okay, I apologize. I have to cut you off now because we have 1 more minute left in the show. I hope that's not a problem for you, Andre. Thank you.
Great call.
Andre, thank you for the call.
Let's don't attack the symptoms. Let's attack the real problem here. Right. And then good call right there. He nailed it.
Good call, except for the fact about he wanted to just talk for 10. I'll tell you what, I'll let him do a 30-minute segment and call in tomorrow.
It'd be a great show.
Yeah, I'll let him do it. Listen, we try to take as many calls as we can on this show, even if there are 4 people in studio. I'm still trying to take as many calls as I can, and we love all your callers, all the callers that call in, even the dumb ones. We'll still listen to you. It's okay. Anyway, tomorrow on the show, this is going to be a lot of fun. What does Michael Avenatti think about the gun laws? What does he think? What does he think about what's transpired in society? We got to go. Ron Futrell, James Varga, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your perspective so much, James. I want you back soon, okay?
Thank you. And thank you, Andre, too, our boss.
Yes, there you go. All right, the legend himself, Ken Thompson, coming up next.